Welcome to the Fox Den Podcast, where leaders gather to grow. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fox Den, where leaders gather to grow. And today, I'm your host, Stephen Allen Fox. I have someone who I've known for a while now, professional in the industry and musician, Myka Miller, right here. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, my pleasure. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, she is the executive director of the Guitar Center Foundation, as you notice in the background, the logo, as well as I hinted to this, a great musician. We've worked together a bunch of times over the years, you on oboe and English horn, and it's always great to work with you in that way. And it's great to be able to have this conversation today in a different kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I know with your background and what you do in the nonprofit world and all that, you're always in a world where it's about motivating people to support something and to be a part of something. But I know that really goes even further than that. And we have it's something people should always be thinking about is giving back. And like, what are your thoughts on that concept alone, the idea of people giving back?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I think that it's so interesting working for a corporation now. I ran my own nonprofit for 15 years and now kind of pivoting and going to work for corporate. And I just feel like, is it something that checks a box, or is it something that people actually really care about? And with Guitar Center, everyone that works there pretty much, I would say most of the people, probably over 80%, are musicians. So there is that kind of automatic love for music and desire to help others, and help others provide. What we do is specifically instruments, right? We're providing instruments. So, but it's so interesting now kind of being on the other side of the table and helping people that were in positions like myself doing the work out in the field. So it's been an interesting kind of flip, and still having to raise money, so it's not like, so that, there's always that, I thought initially like, oh, well, it'll still be great. I don't have to raise any money. No, that's a myth. Like I always tell anybody who goes in a nonprofit, you're going to have to raise money. Like, just, get over that. Like,
yeah,
I happen.
I have to remind the board of directors for Golden State Pops Orchestra all the time and everything that the business is not putting on the concert. That's the product that we have to do the business for, and the business is raising money.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so much fun.
Oh, so fun. It doesn't bother me. I feel like, you're asking for other people. You're not like asking for Myka Miller. You're like, there's this kid in New Orleans that needs a new trombone, or these, all the fire victims that, all these people that need to replace instruments. So it's never about me, which I think makes it a little bit easier. So,
well, and I've told board members before that are afraid of asking.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, first of all, if you're asking somebody who you have no idea if they care about the thing you're asking about, you're not asking at the right time, because you don't just ask some random person off the street, hey, you want to support XYZ, and you know nothing about the person. Like, it starts with a relationship of some level. It's like, get to know the person, find their motivations, and if there's a synergy, now you're not asking for money, you're asking for them to be a part of something they care about.
Exactly. Like, you're giving them an opportunity to make a difference, like,
have I got a deal for you?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, it's just so interesting because it's something that people do care about, and people give money to people. I don't know if that's what I always tell everybody. It's like, people, they're not, especially in corporate now with Guitar Center, people are not like, I want to give Guitar Center some money. And, every musician's like, I've given all my money to the Guitar Center. So
right.
like, my entire bank account goes to y'all. So, but I do see it that way. Like, you're giving people an opportunity, because at the end of the day, we do want to feel important. Like, we want to give back, and we want to have some, we're making a difference in the world. So you're giving them an opportunity to do that.
That's interesting when you said you're giving to people. So what I take from that is what you're saying is when whether you're asking for somebody for money, or you yourself are wanting to do something good for someone else, whether that be someone that helped you get to where you are, or people that are in a lesser position than you, whether that be a job position earlier in their career or financially, whatever it is, if you're wanting to help people, the cause is the people that it's helping.
Right.
So what does it look like? I mean, if somebody wants to give back or really should give back, especially if somebody's become a very successful person in their career and they've reached leadership types of appointed position levels, um, I believe they should be looking for ways to help others and
Yeah.
to give back. What would that look like if someone doesn't know what should I be
Well,
doing to
personally,
help?
I'm going to take it down a notch because I think
Okay.
everybody should be giving back, regardless of where your position is. I mean, obviously, if you can't get out of the house, that's one thing. But I mean, I just feel like, volunteer at the local food bank, volunteer. Like, a lot of people are doing things through church. That's like when I was growing up, that was most of the way we would give back was like through church, but I mean, I just feel like if everybody did like even just 1 hour a month, like what an impact that would make. And I think
Right.
during COVID, there was a lot of that. Like a lot of people were going out and delivering groceries and, there was this kind of sense of like community. Like we had to help the people who couldn't leave home and, we were looking out for others. But I just think, being in nonprofit, there's so many amazing nonprofits out there, dedicated to every single thing. Like one of my favorite ones, there's this one called Beauty Bus, where they actually go into like hospitals or people who are at home and do their hair and makeup. Something as simple
Wow.
as that. But like that becomes, if you think about it as a patient in a hospital, you're never getting fixed up or whatever. And that's just such a luxury. So just there's so many things out there. There's obviously dog rescue. People love animals. There's music organizations. There's performing arts organizations. Like there's something out there for everybody to be passionate about, for sure.
Yeah. Search it out. Find the
Yeah,
thing that
find
you
your
care about.
thing that you dig and like give back in some way. It could be a monetary donation, which of course, like that's what we all always want, some money to fall from the sky, somebody just which I have a story about actually. It's
Oh,
really kind of
really?
cool. Because this is like every nonprofit like fundraiser person's dream is that like somebody calls you up and they're like, "We want to give you $500,000." Well, that like actually happened to me.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Yes, this past month with all the fire stuff and just like how, like immediately I was like, we've got to help all these people. I mean, people, obviously they lost home studios, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, music that people had handwritten that is now gone, or like
Right.
analog tapes that they had, like all this stuff is just gone. So this one woman had heard about us and emailed me to like the info at guitarcenterfoundation.org and was like, how much money would it take to help everybody on your list? And I was just like, is this real? Like I literally was like, are you serious? Because there's a lot of scams out there too.
Oh, yeah.
So like literally this Sook Family Foundation, they just fell into my lap. They gave us $200,000 to help fire victims. So yeah,
Wow.
there's somebody out there for every cause, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Wow. So I'm curious, how did you ever find out how they made the connection to
Yeah,
want to
it's like
reach
on
out to
social
you?
media. She's like a like kind of a musical theater person, and some musical theater guy had posted, I forgot his name. I should be like, "Oh my God, thank you." But he had posted something and so she just found out about it and just reached out, cold called. I mean, I wouldn't I
Wow.
wouldn't I wouldn't use that as a strategy, but it's like everybody's dream.
But well, you know what though? I recently did a talk with Emily Yoon, who's a booking agent at Wasserman Team, and she has a philosophy that hard work leads to luck.
Hmm.
So you know
Okay.
you're doing the work, you're putting it
Yeah.
out there, and if you want to call it luck, fell in your lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another person I used to work with always used to say, if you put it out into the universe, it eventually comes back.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
were putting it out there and it came back. That's pretty exciting, though. Just a
Yeah.
cold call,
Totally.
six-figure drop right on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like super excited. It's funny you say Wasserman because we just recently worked with them also. They do like a day of service for all their employees, and they were doing something at Roosevelt High School in East LA where they built the day of service was much bigger than just the music department, but they had like some music stuff. They built a recording studio there. Like I don't know if
Oh,
you've been
cool.
to Roosevelt High, but in my mind it was
No.
always like this old because it's super old school, but now they've redone it and it's like they have this whole new wing that's all fancy
Oh,
and like,
really?
tech. So, again, just corporations like understanding that they have a moral, I don't know, moral, a corporate responsibility to give back. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and we do. I mean, do any of us, and need means different things in different situations and for different people. But do any of us make it in life without the help of other people? And I
Yeah.
mean, we all are helped at some point in
Yeah.
some way, probably on a daily basis, and many times we don't even realize it.
Exactly.
Um, it's just in this case, it's like, okay, what's your way that you can help? What's your way that you can give back?
Exactly.
And like you said, everybody can do it. And I think sometimes people get deterred by the fact that when they think of giving back, like you said, yes, everybody wants that money and that big chunk of change, but it's not always, it doesn't have to be money.
Right.
You can be somebody that like an hour of volunteering a month or an hour of volunteering a week to help some local nonprofit or some organization. That's really what the nonprofit sector is all about. It's people have something they're passionate about that they love. They see a void in their community or their society of being able to provide it. So
Hmm.
they create a nonprofit, not because they don't want to make any money doing it. It's
Right.
because they need the option of getting the community's financial and volunteer support to
Yeah.
make it possible, because many times it's not possible without that.
Right.
Um,
I would say never. It's never possible without
yeah,
that.
never possible. And really, we live in one of the only countries that, to the degree that it's possible here, the freedom of, oh, you want to create a nonprofit for that purpose?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's be responsible and help build these things up.
Can
So
I can I point in there just because
yeah,
I've always had this dream and I know it kind of exists like Tulsa Symphony, it's like run by the musicians, but I've always kind of
uh-huh.
felt I kind of want to know how you feel about this. I've always felt like it would be so great if every member of the orchestra, and I'm not saying you play for free, but somehow we were all like invested. Because don't you feel like sometimes you feel like the musicians like I'm gonna get on my soapbox. It's like you're doing them a favor, or like they're doing you a favor by playing for you. And it's like, why can't we all be on the same page and be excited about it? I
Well,
mean,
I know with Golden State Pops, one of the things that Vic and I was a conscious decision. I don't remember if it was from day one or it just evolved and then we
involved, yeah,
realized it, but all the people that play there that are brought in are there because they want to perform for this audience, they want to play together, they have fun, and it's not just a paid job, but we were looking for people that it's more than just I'm playing my instrument for a
yeah,
job, even if it is their job. It's let's have a good time, let's put
yeah,
it out there and let this audience have a great experience. So yeah, it's like bringing people together. It's like a passion. Let's have a good time. Let's
yeah,
enjoy ourselves.
yeah,
I totally agree.
yeah. It's funny too because don't you feel like pops used to kind of be like like my teacher would always kind of like scoff at it, like it wasn't, oh, we have to do this pops concert. And now I feel like it's totally the other way around where it's like people are really excited about the pops concerts and like,
Uh-huh.
like the film music, like that is classical music now.
Right. We're privileged to be a part of something that impacts people in ways we could never imagine.
Right.
And but we have a responsibility with that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think what you're saying here, maybe everybody needs to see their life in that way. You're
Hmm.
privileged to be alive.
Yeah.
You're
To
privileged
wake
to be
up
alive.
every morning. Yeah.
You're privileged to be where you are, doing what you do, even if it's tough, even if it's difficult, even through your problems. And there's a responsibility with being given that privilege. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be at the $200,000 level
No,
like
it
you
does
were
not.
lucky enough to get,
No,
but
it does not. I know. I mean, but most of our revenue comes from our roundup at the cash registers, and that's happening a
okay,
lot now, but that's where we get most of our revenue. And it's just, it's change, but it's everybody's little change,
adds up.
adds up. So yeah, it's amazing. And it's so simple.
Wow. I mean, I think change there, that's like a metaphor.
Yeah, I know.
Every little change
Every
adds up.
change makes a change for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
me today and sharing this insight. And hopefully, we'll never meet the people who were inspired by this to
I
do great
know.
deeds.
I know.
But
But we know.
we hope they're out there. Oh, there goes my dog.
Yeah, I know. He's like, I'm out.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for watching the Fox Den, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Visit us at foxpoint.net and StephenAllenFox.com.